Why, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the City of Mist. We finished the intro quest Shark Tank, and now we're on to greater, greener, possibly more flaming pastures we shall indeed see. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. We have rejoined the team to answer Roxanne's question. Yes, we did fully complete the Shark Tank. So all that is done in quotations. This is indeed a new case, completely unique to you guys and myself. I've been working on it for like a day or two, just threw it together real quick. Not a big deal. He lies horribly. So, in general, I want to ask you guys, because you guys aren't like a named group, of course. You are just who you are. Of course, some of you, this is your profession. What do you do for money, Roxanne? I didn't even think to ask that.
I have not thought about that yet.
I swear we asked this last time.
No, we definitely did not. Otherwise, I would have thought about it.
Fair enough.
I have no idea because I'm a college student. I'm spending money, not gaining it.
Where are you getting your college money from?
I don't know. Stop asking me questions.
You don't know where you're getting your college money from?
No, I don't.
Insurance money.
Insurance money, student loans, inheritance.
I'd like, Moira puts in a request for Roxanne's tax records.
This is why she,
You went.
yeah, that's why she hides.
Well, I can't hide from your tax records. Those are government property.
Who's Roxanne?
You know what? Can I just say I'm secretly loaded?
I mean, Xander is. That's fine.
Are we all? Just kidding. I'm poor.
Honestly, it's more fun if you're poor. But in general, I was just wondering, because I was going to ask, after the case, you guys already said what you did, of course. The main thing I was pointing out was, though, technically, Radia, you have a business to run. You're kind of doing your own thing on the side. Moira, of course, you got your job. Roxanne, no one's going to question where you're getting your money from. And Xander, you are scoping out the city, I assume, looking for more weird bullshit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Alrighty. Well, let me drop this little bomb on y'all then. Post the Shark Tank, your group kept an eye on Miller's Square, noticing a vast decrease in violence. Times are still hard, but the denizens have not given up. While most of them are unaware of your involvement, they would thank you all the same. Tracking the ambrosia, on the other hand, has not been as fruitful. Most of it has fallen back into the shadows, but there is one shipment that we were able to track. This has led us to an open auction being held tomorrow. This could be our only chance to get the stuff off the street before it has the chance to cause any more duress. Tonight, though, let's bring our focus to Radia's shop. The streets are lit by a small sliver of the moon and a warm flickering of light that emanates from the few remaining open shops. It's about time to close up. Radia, what are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
It's close-up time, so I'm just wiping down the tables, washing the glassware, cleaning down the coffee pots and instruments, tucking away the pastries away in the fridge.
Smart. How many associates do you have? Do you mostly work alone?
Let's just say mostly tonight, yes. It was a slow day. Nobody else didn't need to call anybody in. I don't know what day of the week this is, but let's go with that.
Yeah, sure. Well, that works out perfectly then. As you're doing your normally nightly duties, we head out, of course, to take the trash out. And, looking about, you got businesses to your left, businesses to your right. Some are doing better than others. Yours is actually doing quite well. You know your stuff, and people come to you. People will go out of their way to come to you, Radia. But others, despite the lack of presence of the folk that we're getting into, the enforcers, they've been on somewhat harder times, but things are indeed looking up. As you're taking out the trash, though, the building to your right, suddenly, in an instant, explodes.
Ooh.
It erupts into a whirlwind of flame, trash, and shrapnel that's flung everywhere. How do you respond to this?
I duck for cover, probably, obviously. Because if things are flying, I don't want to get hit.
Very wise. These things pepper and shotgun the side of the building next to you, just over the trash bin. There are chunks of glass, metal, stone that are wedged into the side of your building. Whatever was in there blew up with a tremendous amount of force. You can feel the wind has been knocked out of you ever so slightly. After the wind and the heat washes over you, you can still hear this fire burning and whirling in the center of this building. You, personally, know this building to be called, I'm going to slur this, sorry. I was going for a cute little word, but it really is hard to say. Doesn't matter, I'm committing to it. It's called Dark and Sensitive. It is basically a somewhat gothy, they sell candles, incense, and weird knickknacks.
Nothing that should have by rights exploded.
Probably not. And you do indeed know the owner. Obviously, she's right next to you. She was closed, though, or at least you hope she was closed. You saw no customers in front of her, in front of the building, and glancing over at the said building, you see no bodies. But you do see one thing. In the center of the rubble and the fire, it's moving irregularly. And in the center of this whirlwind of flame, you see a crouching figure. A hulking figure. Its burning eyes cut through the surrounding smoke and flame. As these eyes rip across from building to building, they miss you. They look wild. You see crazy flame-like hair that licks down the back of this creature as it stands. And now you can see it in its full glory. Easily twice as tall as any of you or your friends. It definitely rivals the size of your dragon. It unfurls its wings and jumps, flying into the night.
Goody. I think I better go call my buddies and let them know what just happened. Well, no, wait, probably should call the authorities first. Or else I'd be suspicious.
Quite possibly.
I'll call the fire department. Somebody exploded. Maybe there's a gas leak.
You realize while looking around that some other people are also immediately on this. A few folk that were walking around, walking their dogs, maybe on bikes, they were knocked over. The force from this, it's a good thing you took cover when you did. It's almost a good thing you were sort of in between. Obviously, your buildings weren't touching, thank God. Who knows what would happen to your business. There was a fair gap, though, which is good. It must have eaten most of the blast, but the wall that separates your two buildings, it will definitely need to be brought back together. General shock is over all these people's faces. No one seems to be hurt, though, that you can see. And like I mentioned before, gazing upon the building once again, you don't see any bodies, at least none that are evident. After calling the authorities, they let you know that they'll be here in about 10 or so minutes, but the fire continues raging on. Something you do notice, though, is that while the fire is still intense and burning, it has died down just a little since the being has left.
Okay, that's at least a good sign. Well, the authorities are called. Now, let me text message a few friends here. Something just fishy happened here.
Are you texting everybody, or?
You may as well let everybody else know that something happened in my corner.
All right, it's a little late. I'd say pretty close to 10-ish. Definitely after 10 now. And Moira, Roxanne, Xander, you'll receive a text from Radiah letting you know that some shit's definitely gone down.
I text her back, because of course I'm awake. And I say, elaborate on that.
I'd rather not over text.
Understood. I start packing up.
All right, excellent. Moira is on her way. Xander?
I was following kind of like a small lead of some small case, but yeah, I'm gonna pack up and head over there.
Excellent. I thought you said folding laundry for a second. I was like, damn, that's real.
No, my bad. I wasn't talking, so my voice
You're good.
adjusting.
Hey, both those things are things that need to be done. And Roxanne, you get this text. What do you do?
I'm helping my little brother with his homework.
Adorable.
How close is he to finishing?
It's late, 10, so he's very clearly trying. He's done, but he's going back and double checking, like, is this right, sis? Is this right, sis? But he's like nodding off occasionally, like when you look away from him for a second and assuming he's double checking, triple checking again, he's like just kind of slowly leaning forward, head about to hit the table, and then you turn around, he whips back up and he goes, oh yeah, number 4.
Oh, he's so cute. All right, kiddo, go to bed. I gotta go.
All right, he protests for a moment, but after you point him down the hallway, he zips around the corner and he jumps on into bed. After some time, the three of you arrive in front of Radiah's. And you see, as described before, a not so burning building. The fire is no longer raging. It is definitely dying down. The fire department has arrived and they're hosing down what seems to be a crater next to Radiah's building. The smoke billows up deep into the night.
Radia, is your shop okay?
Yeah, mine's fine. Well, kinda. Stuff is in my wall, but whatever. On the outside, I guess.
Oh my god, I hope you repaint.
Repaint or get a industrial pliers and pulls the stuff out. I don't know.
I hope do that too.
But yeah, something very weird happened as I was closing up and taking the trash out. The neighbor, they just blew up. And there was a fiery creature with wings that left.
Was it a dragon?
I don't think so. It had hair or fiery hair or hair that made a fire.
It was difficult to tell, but thinking back to its image, its upper body was quite large, but it was definitely bipedal, had arms, legs, horns and such, and wings. Not sure if the hair was hair or if it was fire. It looked one and the same.
Sort of Ifrit dragon demon thing. I have no idea.
Similar.
I don't even know if. I hope that the crew next door wasn't home at the time.
I would assume in this time you probably would have checked with your neighbor, and fortunately, they were also closed. Their building has received the same very light damage yours has. They're mostly done putting out the fire by this point. As you mentioned, there wasn't really that much that was burning, so they're not going to question that just now. There will be an investigation pending, of course. Police are begin to tape off the general area, so of course you guys have to stay back quite a bit. You can still enter your building, but they're very careful to make sure you are the only one Radia, as you are the owner. They have been questioning you, of course, to make sure, do you have anything that could possibly catch fire, et cetera, things like that. Once they've verified what you sell, the usual, they've kind of calmed down a bit, and they're trying their best to keep people away from what could potentially be a disaster.
Wait, so am I allowed to go into my building? Can I bring the crew into my building?
They would prefer at the moment you didn't, just because you are directly next door to a building that they're trying to, extinguish.
Can I have my shadows just go and, put a blanket over some flames that no one's looking at?
Oh, very much so, yes.
And by blanket, I mean like a blanket made of shadow.
Yeah, I won't even have you roll for that. You can definitely do it. You have the time to set it up. And while your shadows are kind of jumping in and assisting with putting the fire down faster, what are y'all discussing? What's everybody doing right now?
Well, it's definitely someone like us. Just stating the obvious here.
Something.
So pretty much a fiery demon fell on a building.
I mean, it could have come out of the building too.
It was a goth shop, but I don't think any one of them is that deep to try to actually summon a demon.
Wait, it was
unless they all weren't right in their own heads to begin with.
It was a what kind of shop?
A gauzy shop. Candles,
Oh,
incense, new age, gothy new age.
What we could do is go back over there and we could look for any evidence of demon summoning or any weird symbols on the floor.
I mean, once the fire's out, yeah.
Being my neighbors, would I know whether or not they were dabbling into darker things?
I would definitely ask that of you. How interested are you in your neighbors? Would you be chatty with them?
I would imagine a bit if I know the neighborhood.
Yes, then to answer one part of the question, you would definitely know if they were. The owner of this building was named Isabel Kittner, and to your knowledge, no, she not didn't believe, but she was pretty chill. She was cool. She, well, I don't want to say used to own this business, but she is still technically currently the owner of the building, and she was, I guess, compared to what you're asking, relatively normal. She wasn't attempting to summon demons. She didn't weird, but like good weird.
Okay, I guess. But if it's not her, you say that she went. What about her staff?
Staff, possibly. Of course, we can question people and whatnot. Not this very second, as fortunately, seeing the fighters dig through the flames and the ash, no bodies. Lots of horribly melted product that she's not getting any of this back. No bodies, though.
This is around 10.
Right now, it's about 11.
So, are people aren't normally there around that time of day, night?
Radia noticed that the building was closed prior to it exploding. The lights were off.
Is it normally not off, though?
I would say that,
I would know their hours. But...
yeah, she tends to keep hours very similar to Radaya's, but recently it's kind of been depending on her mood. Sometimes she closes early at like 7, sometimes she'll stay up till 11, 12. Normally she closes at around midnight, though.
Oh.
She also opens late, so.
So normally she closes around midnight, which means it was closed a little earlier than normal?
Yes, most definitely. And Radaya has noticed a trend of her closing her offices, if you want to call them that, earlier.
Is there... how people are cleaning it up and everything?
Oh, yeah. They'll be done, obviously, sometime later. You guys won't have any normal access anytime tonight. It's at 11,
sure?
so normal.
Use my press pass?
Press pass, definitely not. You need to be a firefighter. they wouldn't even look at it.
Well, no, I mean, like, just to look at the scene and stuff, not be in there.
You can get close-ish, but they won't let you pass the police tape.
Currently, just police there. Or, I mean, firefighters.
Police and firefighters. Yeah, the police have put a perimeter, of course, outside the building, because once again, they want to double check the building doesn't like re-explode. Radaya doesn't know why it went off. They've already questioned her. They can't determine a cause, so what the hell?
Can I go into the crime scene disguised as a firefighter with my magic?
You very much can if you want to roll me a sneak.
They won't notice?
He's got good sneak. We'll see.
Surely they know they're true. Well, I guess if you're wearing, 40 pounds.
Depends on how many alarms this was and how many other departments came in for this.
Yeah. And there we go. Everyone that should fall for it falls for it. And they are so busy putting out said fire, they don't...
Convincing as a firefighter.
Incredibly convincing. As you guys mentioned, big fire, lots of people. They're not going to question you. What are you looking for exactly?
I'm looking for any, demon rituals, some pentagrams, some candles, literally anything that involves the dark arts.
Lingering magical essence.
Anything my Eye of Azar can pick up, any type of magic used or anything.
So looking for literally everything. Go ahead and roll me investigate.
Everything magic or evil.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me investigate. Unfortunately, I cannot see which tags you're currently clicking, which is a bit of a shame, but oh well.
Is that one of the new updates?
Yes, there's also a scene, little window floating in the corner that I'm not a huge fan of, but it's not the end of the world. All right, I get to choose one of those. I'll let you know. So as you're looking around, what is the one question? Like, what specifically are you looking for? The general magic.
I'm looking for any dark magic, like any, like I said, pentagrams, candle, any stuff used for demon summoning, stuff like that.
Well, to answer your question, you don't see any symbols, etchings, blood. You see candles, of course, but looking around, they should probably be here. But normally you can find and sense things just using your regular magic. Your Eye of Azar, though, reacts ever so slightly to a presence, to a something. Unfortunately, you can't determine what that something is, but it's definitely demonic or devil in nature. It, of course, originates from the giant crater that is burned into the center of this building.
If we look at the crater, does it look like something burst out of it or something fell down into it?
You guys would need to basically check in tomorrow, and or one of you would need to use a stealth move to get closer.
I mean, Stealth Queen right here.
That's generous.
Shush you.
Are the abilities there? Technically, yes.
Yes, they are.
There?
The execution, maybe not so much, I admit.
So I'm not able to tell from where I am on the crater.
Technically, you only got one question, but I can say in general, just because the duress of this building, it's very difficult to tell if it came. The ceiling is gone, so you guys would need to do like a full perimeter check. It would require, realistically, all of you could check tomorrow. When I said that the auction is tomorrow, it's tomorrow night.
I don't know if this needs an investigation check, but do I see any people that look a little mischievous or looking a little bit too much like people on the outskirts?
All of you looking around, you don't really see any folk that are too suspicious. The workers here are just doing their job to make sure everything is out. And occasionally, Xander, you kind of fake working and assisting them. so they don't really pay you any mind whatsoever. But from what all you guys can tell, there's the only looky-loos are people that Radiah would notice, or just locals going through, walking their bike and riding their dog.
While I
Wait,
help
sorry,
clean up a little
what?
bit, I'm gonna take a sample of the soot from the little boom boom spot where he came from,
All right.
and I'm gonna look at that later.
I have a chemistry crit if you need it to analyze it.
That was the plan.
That does indeed work. So you've basically got all the information that you can, Xander. You've collected the stuff, the good stuff. Let's see, can I? I should be able to add. There, I can add Crater Ash as a tag. Excellent. So you've collected that. You guys can definitely look around, like check the perimeter and such. It's a little hard to tell during the night, but fortunately, two of you, Moira and Roxanne, I want to have either of you roll because you guys are good in the dark and you can see quite well. And to answer that question, while Xander was looking on the inside, I assume you guys were checking the outside?
Yeah.
All right, then to quickly answer that, you guys can see there were pieces of this building blown outwards. So it looks as if something didn't crash into the building, but was inside the building.
Okay, so stuff was blown outwards.
Yes, you see parts of the interior framing, the ceiling, all over the place, meaning this was definitely blown outwards.
And I guess there's nothing really on it that looks weird.
Besides severe burning, no.
Okay.
And in terms of the supernatural, while you did see, like I mentioned, a little Xander, it was mostly the Ivazar responding to a presence of some sort. Definitely no longer present. It is gone.
No residual presence.
Bingo. Like someone farted and just ran out of the room and you're like, damn, what is that? Demon farts?
Smells like pure sulfur. I was going to ask if there's anything anybody can do to maybe trace it, since we know it left the building. If there's a residual sense that there was something in there, would Xander be able to sense it somewhere else with the Eye of Azar?
Possibly, but it's definitely been some time. So if this presence does not want to be tracked, you know that it would be gone.
I'll track it.
Yeah, you definitely can. Now, there's two things. You know, Xander, that strong presences can hide. You also know weak presences don't really leave much of a trail. So currently, you can't tell unless you yourself, of course, go out and attempt to track this thing.
Strictly speaking, would something that's not powerful have created that large of a burst?
No.
So it's probably hidden.
Whatever trail is currently leaking off from this crater follows the same path that Radiah mentioned to you, Xander, so at least that part does indeed track.
Ask Radiah what the lady's name was.
I relay said information.
What was her name? Isabel? So I'm going to take down that name, and then I'm just going to go ahead and leave and do some internet searches and stuff.
That works.
Maybe see if I can figure out where she lives.
By this point, all of your stuff has definitely been safely tucked away, Radiah, so you can close up shop and everything. The fire is basically gone. It's just smoke at this point. They've kind of pulled back the do not cross in a little bit so cars can pass by much easier. They are just trying to be as careful as possible from what they can tell, and Xander's amazing help. It shouldn't blow up again. There was nothing here. They're stumped. They'll obviously check in tomorrow when it's light and they can see better.
Me too, buddy. I too will come in and check it out.
Sorry for disturbing your evening, guys. Coffee's on me tomorrow.
Perfect. I'll take the sweetest thing you can make.
I like it black.
You would.
Which is funny because she hates coffee.
Yeah.
Melanie as a
hot
person,
chocolate.
not surprising.
Oh, Melanie, you hate, yeah.
Yes.
If it has to be like drowned in sweetness, otherwise she can taste the coffee and makes that face.
Oh no.
Alcohol's the same way.
This is so.
What?
I work for an organic coffee roastery, and you don't even like drinking coffee?
Yeah, gross.
It's okay, I like it. Send it all to me.
Will do. I'm proud of the product. Roxanne probably would have black coffee though, only because it's an edgelord move.
Yes, and I might
And then, like,
maybe just be a bit of a
secretly-
poser.
And
about to
like
say-
secretly, you're like,
Does Roxanne drink black coffee because she likes it or because she thinks it makes her look cool?
The latter.
Okay. Just won't tell anyone.
I've had enough, though. I might be developing a bit of a taste.
You love it. You love it. You like it. You like it.
Actually,
Come on.
In that case, I think maybe you're just addicted to the caffeine and not
That
the
too,
fact
yes.
that like your taste isn't changing. You just get a headache without it. You get a little ache.
Please no.
It is an addictive substance.
A little. And Roxanne and Xander, what do you two do this night? Moira's going off to search for clues and internet.
I'm gonna give the crater ash to Radiah.
I take it home, I guess, to alchemy toolkit.
Can I have my shadows just take a peek around the city?
Oh,
See
yeah,
if
most
maybe
definitely.
There's a giant bipedal creature wandering around.
Most definitely, yes. Is there anything else you guys want to do before we roll into the morning?
Well, I mean, I am searching stuff. I don't know if I should ask you that now or I guess theoretically tomorrow.
Realistically, either work. Do you know what you want to know, or are you just generally searching?
So I want to know how long she's been in business there.
Okay.
Anything about her, really, in general. And then potentially anything that might have been in the building before her.
Oh, like renting that same building?
Yeah.
That'll definitely take some research. So go ahead and roll me investigate. And then Radiah, let's see. What do you want to know about this ash? It just kind of, is it spooky? Is it weird?
Yeah, if it's just normal fire building burnt ashes, or is there something else inside it, some other properties? Something magical or demonic or along that line.
Sure. I would have you roll for this because this is kind of your specialty, and getting assistance with, Xander, we can help point things out. Ooh, excellent. We got a 9 in the investigate from Moira. But Radiah, what you learn that you can share with your friends later is, yes, this ash is definitely infused with some form of magic, and tinkering with your tools and such, it's very strongly emanating the elemental aura of fire. And not just fire, there's definitely a difference between magical fire and fire that we can create with matches and such. This is 100% a magical fire, and it burns at, from what you can tell, a very, very high temperature. So there's something special about it. And you can definitely tell that as well from seeing it. It almost hurt just to look at.
But obviously, with my fire resistance, I probably did not get hurt.
You didn't, but normal folk would not be doing so hot. Huh. Bad joke.
That's a funny one right there.
Cries myself to sleep. So, Moira, you got 3...
Can I, while she's doing that, can I look, listen over the radio, if anyone's any radio chatter of, any flying shit going on, or looking on my forums of paranormal forums to see if anyone's seen anything?
Indeed, yes. And I want to have either of you roll, because that is both Roxanne and Xander are effectively looking for the same thing. One physically with shadows, and the other you're going through your net and such. Go ahead and think of your questions, Moira, and I'll answer Roxanne and Xander's now. You two realize pretty quickly that whatever this thing was flew, and then it kind of disappeared. So obviously people who can't see it literally didn't see it. It was either a bird or it was a plane. And that's it. Roxanne, everything should have been traceable. Now, it had an hour lead on you, but from what you can tell, it probably poofed, went back to its realm. Something this big, though, from how Radiah described it, should have left a physical presence behind and did not. After, of course, it flew away. It was either super fast, has stealthing properties, or something along those lines. Xander, you're effectively getting the same thing. Some people saw, quote unquote, something fly by. Those that stay up real late looking for aliens and such, or just any spooky ghosts. Whatever this was too large and was flying way too low, way too damn fast. They couldn't get a good look at it. But size-wise, time-wise, definitely similar to what Radiah described, Xander. And then your general questions, Moira, you want to know who had the building prior to her?
Yeah.
I will tell you in terms of an answer, it's not super relevant to the case. It was just a regular ass, building selling. We'll just say pizza or something. Nothing major. We already had pizza. No, they're a sub shop. Nothing weird.
So, I mean, she's been acting weird, right?
In general,
Radiah?
yes. And looking at reviews and such, you can tell that Some people are kind of miffed that she's been closing early for literally no reason. Like, she doesn't even announce it, whether she would do so online on like a Twitter or a Facebook or something. She just decides, I'm closing earlier, and does so.
Is she dead or is she still alive?
We have no idea.
Oh, I thought you said Radiah saw her outside.
No, no bodies were found in the building or outside the building. Just looky loose.
Yeah.
Or she
they-
turned into the fire creature.
I mean, that's not an impossibility. Well, I wanted to. Where does she live?
She lives relatively close by, in one of the apartments.
Can I get that information?
With you, definitely yes.
All right. And then I guess that's my second question. I guess I just want to know more about what she's been doing, but I don't know if that's information that I can search.
Anything in particular you want to ask? You can always, hold on to it, pocket it.
We know that her habits have been kind of weird. And the people who are leaving reviews, were they complaining mostly about the fact that she was just closing weirdly at weird times?
Oh yeah, people enjoy her shop. Very much so, from what you can tell from the reviews.
Nothing else about her or anything else about the shop, just the fact that it was closing early?
Correct, without warning, basically.
Okay. Can I pocket it?
Very much so. So there's literally a section for pocketing clues. It's the third tab on your character sheet. You can just type a clue regarding, Isabel something. And then, when you want to cash that in, go for it. It can either be while you're talking to her. Remember, you also get a free clue whenever you enter a new scene. So you also have that.
True. I will be using that.
Alrighty. And
is this a full clue or a partial clue? Is that something I need to check?
I'm not sure. We'll go with full clue. Oh, partial clue would mean I picked the middle one, so it could be kind of bullshitty. No, this can be full on. Whatever you ask, I'll answer. But
you're going to use one of those other two things then.
Oh yeah, of course, and it's fun not to tell you. Now, I will tell you if the answers are fuzzy, I'll let you know up front. So unless I say these answers are fuzzy, it's either you've been exposed to danger, which is regardless is hard to.
I also kind of expect that.
It's hard to convey in general.
Yeah.
Basically, you're searching, someone sees you searching, or you bumped into the wrong thing, or a million little things. So
that's fine.
I keep a tally of ways I can randomly screw you over. Yay!
Yay!
Alrighty, so the night.
Alright, I'd like to go to the scene of the crime.
In the morning, or?
Yeah.
Alright, excellent. Are we all meeting Radiah in the morning for free coffee?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, what day of the week is it?
Yesterday was Tuesday, so it is Wednesday, my dudes.
Okay.
Wednesday morning, mostly bright and early. Yes, we were kept up late a little doing research, sending out our shadows, and checking the paranormal net, but we found some good information. And swinging by Radiah's, there is still some smoke and such. Well, like I said, everything is pulled back quite a bit. The building is still sitting there. There's one cop car across the street. The dude looks like he's asleep, and the building is completely taped off. Other than that, things have mostly gone back to normal.
You said he looks like he's asleep?
Oh yeah, when you guys pass by his car, he's clearly sleeping.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep walking then.
He keeps sleeping then.
Perfect.
Just like I planned. Alright, whatever time you decide to open Radiah, early-ish, or is this a pre-opening only for friends?
Pre-opening only for friends.
Hell yeah. Do you have like a gate or curtains you can close so no one can see?
Yep.
Nice, love it.
How early are we talking?
Up to y'all.
Get your college age butt up.
No, I'm thinking about bringing my little bro along.
Why would you bring your bro along on a criminal investigation?
For some morning hot cocoa for good work for studying last night before he goes to school.
You concern me deeply.
Horrible idea.
I can't baby my little brother. Come on.
No, it's fine.
Exactly how far away is this school from my store?
Excellent question, DM.
It's a reasonable distance. And this have to be super early if that's the case.
I'll just have Jasper take him.
That's not weird at all.
I'm pretty sure my little brother would have seen them by now, so it's fine.
We'll make it work. Roxanne comes in holding the hand of nobody and you're like, oh, hi, little brother. Kidding. He's alive.
Oh my god, I hate you so much.
Everyone like from my little brother. Everyone's like, yeah, sure.
Does Radiah have pastries?
Yeah, I stayed up a little extra longer and made some.
She doesn't. I don't want to come.
Pastries.
Come.
I don't even want to wake up.
What kind of pastries am I making here? I'll have lemon cranberry muffins or orange cranberry muffins. Whichever you prefer. We can just pretend I did those.
I mean, I'll take anything.
Sounds delicious.
And blueberry little pastry braided strudel fruit stick things.
Alright,
Yo.
Calm down. I just ate, but calm down.
Spoiling us.
That's
Alrighty.
the coffees, the teas, and the hot chocolates.
Most excellent. So we all meet nice and early, definitely before your brother has to go to school, and definitely before anyone really notice. Curtains are closed. You guys have the time to yourselves. What do you all discuss?
Well, I think that we need to look into why she was closing early, first of all. Yeah.
Bedoya, did you find anything in the crater ash?
Yes, upon scientific study, there's a whole bunch of chemical names I can add here, but basically it was magic rock.
Sick.
It was basically, it has a stronger than normal fire presence on it. It'll burn hotter than normal fire presences can make it. It's magic.
Can I see how much of the ash do we have left?
A good portion of it runs back to the little place where I tucked it.
Am
Brings it back.
I want to try to use my magic to reassemble the ash into the magic rock.
Would you rather do it back out here or in the back?
Wherever is fine.
Let's go in the back with the steel kitchen. In case something goes wrong with it.
That is a very good idea.
It still might melt my steel, but whatever.
So while there's a fair amount left, you notice, of course, since it is indeed ash, it's taken in things from its general surroundings, wood, and plaster, and things of that nature, product and such. There is still some of the raw essence still left. You got to focus a bit, Xander, but you're able to reconstitute whatever this stuff is, and it pulls itself back together into a really opaque red crystal. It's a very, very small amount, though. It kind of fractures off into a very difficult to hold shape. It's not any one particular shape. It doesn't look like it was part of something. It doesn't look like it broke off. It just looks like this is a physical manifestation of whatever that power was.
Does it look familiar at all to me?
You've seen this somewhere before, basically from what Radaya explained to you. Elementals, demonic presences, demons, devils, things of that nature. A lot of times, their fire will, if encapsulated in a physical form, present itself in this way, in a crystal of some nature. And it can be cracked open or broken open or something like that.
So pretty much he came from the rock?
You're not sure. Unfortunately, things like this are, it's easy to tell where it came from. It has too many uses. Sometimes you could actually hold a spell in a crystal such as this and then release it. It might, hurt the wielder, but, you want power. Or a creature. Or a person. Or something. Or just general residue they leave behind. It almost looks like ice, but we know it's fire. They'd have to be strong, though. They left behind a red crystal residue.
Well, that's a good sign that we know what it is, at least.
Other than that, in general, your crew does have one thing that they do need to discuss on the docket, and that is how you guys are going to effectively present yourselves or enter the auction tomorrow. You guys it's effectively an open invite, but when I say open, I mean no one should know about this unless you are, you rub elbows with the right people, so they basically won't question you if you show up. The ambrosia will not be there until the designated time. They are very careful. So after you all are done discussing the now and the building and such, you guys can talk about that.
Is it normal for them to auction this off, or did they have to change their plans because of us?
The they in question have nothing to do with the they that you interrupted party-wise. It's not Honeylip and his people.
So do we even know if this is legit ambrosia or a half-assed copy?
You do know that this is good information. It's not a trap. It's not a trick. You do know this is the actual stuff. The three of you, Xander, Roxanne, and Moira, you guys are good at getting information, and you know this is good information. But it's only good for tonight.
Gotta keep to it. I think we should go investigate the crater more.
I mean, yeah, we have time.
Are we sort of just, blatantly walking up to it? Are we sneaking? What's the plan of attack?
Well, I guess when we get there, we'll be able to know more of the plan of the attack to see what's around.
It's next door, so it'll take you 2 seconds to get there.
Well, is there guards?
No, like I said, there is one cop sleeping in a car across the street. It is surrounded by police tape. That's it.
Well, I guess we can go through the back and check out some stuff.
All right, all going together.
Yeah.
Perfect. All four of you are unseen, to your knowledge, able to enter this building. Smoke is still billowing up. It seems as if the fires are out, but there's something deep that just doesn't want to go away. It doesn't coat your lungs, but it's unpleasant to occasionally breathe in. Other than that, this place got destroyed. If there was anything left, it would be difficult to find. Things are wet, of course, because they sprayed everything down. Fortunately, Xander, you did scrape up the ash before they were able to completely douse it and clean it away. There is still some, but it's wet, unfortunately. Other than that, just let me know what you're looking for.
You said
how
what
big's
hits
the-
our noses or whatever when we came in?
There's still like a smoke. There's still like a funk to the air, despite them putting the fire out.
Does it smell like something?
Burning.
Can I go investigate the hole?
You can. What are you looking for?
Anything I missed or wasn't able to look at last time?
Now that they've cleaned some things up and, moved the collapsed ceiling back a bit so they could better access certain areas, it's a hole. That's damn near a hole, definitely.
Does it look like it fell in or exploded from that spot?
Moira and Roxanne were able to determine that the explosion came from inside the building.
So, Radaya, pretty much you saw the flaming beast after it exploded.
Yes.
Do you know if it looked at you?
It was looking around like a wild beast, but I don't think it narrowed in on me.
You didn't make eye contact with it?
No, I don't think we locked eyes at all.
On a scale to 1 to super scary, how scary was it?
I wouldn't want to go out and run across it in a dark alley without my dragon. I'd say it'd be up there, maybe worse than Shark Lady.
Oh, noted.
How much of can she explain what it looks like, from what she saw?
It was very quick, but it was effectively what I described prior. It has a large upper body, large arms, wide shoulders, huge wingspan, not small legs, but smaller, and the hair that whipped up into just a wild mane rippled down its back, and the hair was like flame. It was crouched initially, and then got up, looked around, flew away. It was very quick. And had horns. Sorry, forgot to mention that.
I feel like if I could actually see it, I could identify it.
Is there anything that we can find in the rubble or whatever that looks strange or amiss or just like
Scratch
anything in
marks?
general?
Besides ruined product,
Yeah.
no. This place is absolutely just burned to ash. It's difficult to even tell what was sold here. You only know because of Radaya told you.
Mhm.
It's bad.
All right. Well,
Did you say it has a tail?
It did, yes.
is there anything that we can find here, or is this just about done?
From what you guys can see, looking around, everything was just been smoked and burnt out.
All right, I'm gonna go to Isabel's house apartment.
All right, as you're whipping around the corner and moving to the front, because realistically, you can actually walk there from here. You see an individual standing in front of this building, not necessarily slack-jawed, but just looking at it.
Would you say that it kind of resembles an imp?
The entity?
Yeah, but like bigger.
Imp-ish, yeah, but like it's bigger than Radaya's dragon, or close to it at least. So it's imp, but on steroids, I guess.
So like Chad version of an imp.
Yeah, basically. What's his name? Dr. Livingston from that Treasure Island animation. that basically.
So like if Hellboy had a baby with an imp.
Sure. I mean, Hellboy's already pretty flamey. And I think he's got wings at some point.
Yeah.
I've not read the comics in a while, so but yeah, take Hellboy, make him bigger, throw some wings on him, boom. Unsaw his horns. But Moira, heading outside, like I said, you see one individual that is maybe a little too close for comfort to this building.
Is
Not
it
really.
Isabel?
Yes, as you get closer, you actually recognize her indeed as Isabel Kettner. And you kind of walk around the corner. She doesn't necessarily recognize you or say anything. She's kind of mumbling to herself, just looking at the building.
What's she saying?
As you get closer, you can kind of just hear her say, under her breath, "I thought it'd be so easy. God, I wonder if insurance even covers this." She just seems like
Wait, I'm sorry. Did she say, I thought it'd be so easy.
No, who thought it would go down so easy?
Who thought it would go down so easy?
Wait, who is she talking to? The girl?
She's
Herself.
overhearing.
Herself.
Yeah, she's mumbling to herself.
No, I know. Is this a store owner?
Yeah.
Yes, she's standing in front of the store by herself.
I
And
hand over.
yeah, and then now that you're walking towards her, the slight start turns to you and goes, "Oh, hi, do I know you?"
No. This is your building? Your store?
She sighs loudly. It was.
Any idea what happened?
Caught fire. Someone firebombed it. I don't know.
You don't seem very surprised.
She turns to you, Roxanne. Shocked. More like. This isn't exactly the morning welcome I wanted.
Fair.
I mean, that was my life. That was my store. That's just life, I guess, then, isn't it?
Were you dilly-dallying anything occult?
She furrows her.
That's Brad.
She furrows her brows and looks at you and goes, "Excuse me?"
Me gently trying to ease into this conversation. Roxanne absolutely messing it up 3 seconds in.
Are you a demon?
I come around the corner. It's like, Isabel! Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry about your store. Come on in. Come over here. Come over here. You guys get in here. Have some coffee.
I kick Roxanne in the shin.
Her eyes light up as she sees Radaya, and she starts walking towards her and kind of gives Roxanne the look up and down of like, "What? Who the hell are you?" And looking at you,
Ignore
Radaya.
the weird college student. She knows not what she's seeing.
And she points at you guys in general, just to Radaya. These your friends?
Sort, yes. Acquaintances.
Oh,
Pay no mind to the youngster there.
I'll
She
chalk
can
that
be a
up.
little blunt.
Yeah, I'll chalk that up to that.
She's a little weird.
Honestly,
I hold out my hand
no,
to her, like as a handshake. I'm
Alright.
like, I'm Moradine.
nice to meet you, Moira. Isabel Kittner. And she gives you a fairly firm grip. Shakes her hand.
So,
and-
Isabel, when's the last time you saw your shop, not destroyed?
Last night before I closed it.
And nothing weird was going on? No random stragglers or anything?
I mean, there's always a few customers that either stay too long or ask too many weird questions, and I just closed up early yesterday.
People ask you weird questions?
I
My next question.
run kind of an interesting shop, and honestly, I don't mind the weird questions. They're fun. I sometimes give them a bullshit answer because, I like to watch them squirm, but it is what it is.
Is this like an occult shop?
Oh,
So,
yeah, effectively. I sell candles.
what's her
wait.
name?
Huh? Isabel.
So, Isabel, my question is, why have you been closing your shop early lately?
She runs an occult store, but she's not dabbling in anything like weird.
I mean, not according to her, and Verdai, you've not really seen her do anything too odd either. I mean, she's interested in the same way where it's kind of like a hobby, in a sense.
Uh-huh.
A hobby that she's running a store out
All
of.
right, but in that case, she might buy the occasional, ooh, this looks cool, but it's actually real.
We'll get into that.
That's not out of the question.
Anyway,
I hate
guess,
you guys.
She does look to Radaya and say, "I'd love to play 20 questions, but I can really only stay for so long. I have to contact the insurance company, so I can humor y'all for like another 5 minutes. I can take a coffee to go if you're just handing them out. Of course, I'll pay."
So, yeah,
No.
why have you been closing your shop early?
That's a bit of a personal question.
Well, if you look on your Yelp reviews, a lot of people were complaining, right, that you've been closing up early, even though your store says that you're supposed to be open longer.
And she kind of scratches her face at that and goes, Yeah, fine. Well, ready for a shitty answer? Money.
Yeah.
And I've just not been feeling it. I've been a little down recently. And no, I won't go any further into that. I'm the only one that run my shop. I don't really have any help. I cannot afford it. So some nights I'm just not feeling it, so I close early. Apologies.
Honestly, I think that's really valid.
She shrugs.
So you take your coffee, cream, sugar?
Both, please. Yes, not too much. She smiles that you ask, despite knowing exactly how she likes her coffee.
Double checking.
Yeah, she knows. And she smiles and nods to you, Radaya, as you're preparing that. Says, "Who are y'all anyway? You're just what, a bunch of No offense, but like nosy neighbors, just looking into. I know it was apparently a whole thing.
I mean, in the interest of, full disclosure, I am an investigative journalist, and this seems pretty weird.
And I'm her assistant.
Oh, all right. Very excited that
My
one.
unpaid intern.
It's interesting.
Wow, she's interesting. All right.
I don't like this lady.
Okay, shh. Roxanne, you don't like anybody. Shh.
Jasper's behind you, like calm. He's like petting your head, like chill, Roxanne. Collect yourself.
Just maintain your composure for once.
It's like a vibrating chihuahua.
I'm fine. I'll just shut up.
All right, but by this point, the coffee's definitely ready, I would assume.
Yep.
All right,
I'm gonna give her. Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, hands her over the coffee.
All right, she smiles at that, takes it, sips, and she knows it's good. She doesn't need to tell you. She just smiles and looks to you where you were going to say something.
Yeah, I hand her my business card.
Okay, she takes it and puts it in her pocket.
And I'm like, if you think anything is out of the ordinary, if you've got any concerns, just give me a call.
Will do. I can't really say I have any enemies, and before you start asking, no, I don't have any, weapons or bombs or anything. I wasn't planning to overthrow the government, so that's not why that happened.
Something about this told me that it wasn't a homemade bomb, but that's...
I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Neither here nor there.
And with all that, unless you guys have any questions, she's just gonna kind of peace out.
No?
All right, she nods to you and says, "It was a pleasure meeting you. And Roxanne, work on that. I don't know what's really going on with you, but you seem nice."
I will look very sheepish.
She nods at that and then nods at you, Radia, as if to say thanks again, and just kind of tips her coffee at you guys, turns heel, and heads on out. You guys can see through the little peek hole in the window that she's going over to her car, getting in, and probably driving to the insurance company or whatever. And she just kind of heads
I don't
off.
know about you guys, but I'm not really buying the whole I'm short on money, so I'm closing early.
I don't know if I'm not buying it.
All things
But-
considered, that fiery demon popped out of a shop. Clearly something else is going on.
I do think hey, Radia, you sort of know her, right?
What, somebody, a fellow shopkeeper in the neighborhood, I suppose.
Is she always that collected?
Yes.
So it's not that out of character for her to be like looking at her completely destroyed shop and saying, "Huh, that went down faster than I expected," or whatever.
Those that don't know her
Easier, rather.
probably didn't catch a few of her hand ticks and such that Radia would have caught. So she looked a little, definitely unnerved for her. She's trying her best to maintain composure.
Okay.
Radia's more familiar with her, though, so she definitely would have caught those.
I just want to see, what I really want is like a record of everything that she's had come into her shop.
Like product?
Yeah.
Okay. That would definitely take some digging and some time. But I can give you that list later-ish, canonically, time today. So like tonight-ish. You can,
yeah.
yeah.
I just want to see if like maybe it's something, even though she's not sure or she doesn't think it's something like that maybe something was brought in that's actually a cult and not like a gothic cult. Do you know what I mean?
Very good question, yeah.
Like people who get like super old Ouija boards because it looks cool and doesn't think about the fact that they're in houses hundreds of years old.
And then oops, ghost and or
oops.
demon.
You've been poltergeisted.
And or murdered by
something.
said
And or
poltergeister.
murdered.
Not great.
So I would like to look at a comprehensive list of what has been going in and out of her shop roughly around the time that she's been having like, money issues.
Sure. And the rest of you, I'll answer that in a heartbeat. But Roxanne, Radia, and Xander, what are y'all doing? It is still very early. Of course, you got to drop your brother off, and then you guys are going to meet up later again tonight.
I will just go drop my brother off and listen to him make fun of me.
Perfect. He was mostly probably playing with his phone and other things, reading and such, and kind of watching you do whatever it is you do. And he's somewhat confused, but you're clearly a professional. You've been doing this for a while, so maybe that's just how it works.
He's just like me when I was looking at my older brother.
You found it a little funny, but older sis must know best. And Xander, how about yourself?
I'm gonna try to do a background check on her.
Okay, background check looking into what precisely?
Not background check as in not criminal, but
Insurance fraud.
no. Well, if I can find any, evidence of her perusing on any paranormal forums or sites, stuff like that, talking to people about the dark arts.
Connecting her to an online presence would honestly be super hard. What you can find publicly via her social media and such is, it sounds like what she said is probably what she does online. She eggs some people on. Maybe she picks up certain product and you see that she takes pictures of them. She'll post them online saying like, ooh, I got a, such and such snake idol, or who knows what this is, blah, 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 things of that nature. Or can you guess the origin of this, impressive artifact? You're not sure if she's bullshitting based on what she said. Probably a little bit of bullshitting, yeah. But for her private accounts and such, that would be very difficult to find.
So she could have picked up something not so good.
Possibly. And then before we jump straight to it, like I mentioned before, going to said auction tonight, you guys can just walk straight in. They're not gonna, they'll pat you down. Just
They're not gonna, but we were seen in the Ambrosia den.
The people selling the ambrosia are not the same group. It's someone basically. Yeah. So
okay, my bad.
Counterfeit ambrosia now?
Not necessarily counterfeit, but it was basically someone stole it from them, and now they're trying to sell it really quickly. But these are, they're good for it, basically. So in terms of underground shit, Moira, these guys, they tend to pick up product, they tend to push it through, but they're pretty strict on how quickly they like to do things.
Okay.
So the information is definitely not BS. Like I said,
I fixed a token.
Excellent. I'll give that a poke later. So is the general plan just to walk on in?
Yeah.
I guess
since
so.
it's an auction for rich people, I look good.
Excellent. Up until that point, though, I can answer, before we arrive, of course, I can answer your other question, Moira. You wanted to know, effectively a list of things that she's gotten in?
Yeah.
Okay. You can
And if there's anything odd.
This would be obviously difficult to tell without seeing the product in person, without going into too much detail. If the product list says snake goddess statue, you have no idea what that means. It could be plastic, metal, real, fake. It could be a candle for all you know.
So it's a generic list?
Fairly, just because we're getting this kind of last second. But she definitely has some unlabeled products. Just kind of like custom line 1, custom line 2, with really, really, really vague descriptions. But everything else is very well organized. The main thing you notice...
highlight the ones that are a little vague.
Excellent.
Oh, go on.
Oh, no, you're good. So there are some vague ones. You can highlight those. The other thing you notice is she's been taking in less and less product over time.
Could that be related to the fact that she's making less money, though?
That would coincide with that, yes. Obviously, you don't know her bank account, but from what she said, this would logically make sense.
Okay. I think I'll have to get in contact with her again. I don't know if she would have records anywhere else, would she?
They're probably blown up.
Yes, no, yeah. Unfortunately, her building is completely kaput. If she had a back office, it didn't survive. Like, nothing survived. You guys spent some time looking around. It's all ash, unfortunately. And when Xander gets back, we will head to the warehouse. Also, question for Moira. Obviously, you are probably, I'd say, the most dialed into what's going on in the city. What do you lean towards in terms of stories? What's your focus?
Story?
Yeah, like, what do you focus on when you're not doing this?
When I'm not doing the investigative pieces?
Yeah, well, so, sorry. The investigative pieces that you do as, like, your job that aren't, the last one, Shark Tank, and this. Where do they normally put you? Like, where's your area of expertise?
You mean as a reporter, right?
Mm-hmm.
True crime.
Crimes, basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say, I'll go both areas and say true crime and feel good pieces.
Wow, just cover everything.
I like to think that Moira's versatile. Her interest is in the investigative journalism stuff, like gangs or whatever that we've been doing.
Perfect, that makes sense.
Oh, I have an idea before we do the ambrosia thingy.
Yes.
Oh, what if we do some lot B&E, as in break into Isabel's place and scoop around, maybe find a little bit of rocks, red rocks. And
Probably
stuff.
not yet. I mean, I guess we can see if she's home.
Well, yeah, obviously we're not going to break in if she's in there, but
Considering you guys started very early, if you all were to discuss this, you would determine pretty quickly, since you guys do know where she lives, that no, she's not home. She was truthful. She's most likely out and talking with her people, trying to figure out what the hell to do this building.
What do you guys say?
I want no part of it.
Roxanne, I know you're crafty with your shadows.
I
Moira got the fingers. She got the
Sorry,
itch. I know it. Moira, it's a good
got-
scoop.
The fingers?
Yeah, the twitch to break in.
To be fair, Roxanne doesn't need to break in. She can kind of just
Yeah, I don't need to break in.
Well, I mean, I don't have to break in either. I can just kind of teleport through the walls and stuff.
I'm gonna look at Radia's insistence to do this, and I'm like, I'll go to watch him. How's that?
A second.
He's definitely gonna do it no matter what.
I mean, technically, I'm not breaking in. I'm just kind of, astral projecting through walls.
Which is
Oh.
better than what you were initially
As one
saying,
does.
because
fine.
otherwise
Well,
she
true.
would recognize you if she were caught, and you guys are my friends, and then I'm in the neighborhood. Oh, shit.
Not if I'm
Sneaking
wearing
And I
in
would
there.
get the police to arrest me and put me in jail and close down my store.
I feel like I'm missing something. What are we breaking into?
Isabel's apartment.
Isabel's apartment to try to find any, magical rocks or anything linking her to evil demon fire thing.
I definitely thought we were going there with the intention to have her let us in.
She's currently not home, so.
I don't know how I missed that. Really not sure.
It's okay. Well,
That said, it's only allowed if we don't get caught.
I mean, being that I did sneak down into the basement of a guy who can mind control people without him even knowing. Well, I mean, he knew once I was in front of him, but without anybody else knowing, I think we're pretty gravy, if you ask me.
I think we need somebody on lookout.
I mean, that'll probably be me.
I mean, outside on lookout.
Yeah, that'll
Okay.
probably be me. I have sentinels at my command.
You know what, Roxanne? You're right. Do your thing.
Yes, yeah, okay.
Alrighty, so Roxanne's on lookout, and Xander is sneaking in. So go ahead and roll me, Mr. Xander, a sneak, please. It's early in the morning, so you guys only really see people exiting the apartments, not really paying any mind to you all. They have better places to be. Sun's beginning to rise, so it's a good thing we had coffee so early.
That's a doo-doo roll, but it's okay.
Nope, 7's good. 7 means you did it.
I'm more meaning the one that I rolled.
I mean, you roll a 3 and a 1, but that's a 4 plus 3, 7. You nailed it. It's all good.
Actually,
Yes.
is this a new scene?
Yes, it is a new scene.
Can I get my free clue?
Of course. Do you have a specific question before you start snooping around?
Yeah, I just want to see if there's anything weird.
Weird. So remember, he's astral projecting through the wall, as in like his body is just kind of AFK somewhere, and you guys are all standing outside.
Well, I want to know if the Eye of Azar senses anything again.
Sure.
Or whatever it is that he uses.
Yeah, maybe you can tell Xander to look out for certain things, because this is technically a clue that you would use, but you can kind of like, speedball it over to him, and then we'll give you a good free question if you find anything odd. So that's basically what you're looking for, Xander, correct? Odd stuff, weird things?
Yeah, odd, weird,
Something that gives you a slightly weirder vibe than the things around it.
Excellent. Well, first and foremost, her apartment has the same vibe that she does in general. Lots of trinkets, dream catchers, things of that nature. So she definitely brings her work home with her, as, she's basically the only person that does indeed worked there, I guess. There are some things that are unpackaged, but it looks just like mostly candles on candles on candles. You can't really touch anything because you're astral projecting. But from what you can see, a lot of the product just looks like boring ass product from what you can see. Moving around and snooping throughout. On top of one of her tables, you can see she has a couple overdue bills, and on her refrigerator, she has a couple that are like circled in red of like, pay this, you idiot. Other than that, in terms of weird vibes, you're not really getting anything that would be strong enough to send off signals for you, Xander, but she definitely has one or two items and trinkets
Now
that...
look in her closet.
Yeah, you can kind of like, move on through, poof on in. From what you, it's just clothes, just more clothes that she would have.
Is there anything under her bed or in, any cupboard?
If you touch her panty drawer, I'm going to punch you.
The panty raid.
Stop.
The panties raid you.
If you do that, I am turning you in.
I mean, he can't control his body right now, so you just push him down the stairs.
Women's undergarments, right?
I just strip him.
But no, so in general, when I give you an answer, you don't need to specifically say I check under the bed. You don't need to be that specific, just so you know. You're not missing any clues that way.
Well, I didn't know if she had like a shoe box under there where she keeps her
of course,
gems and weird magical stuff.
Yeah. I'm also telling you that if you don't say, because remember from last time, if you don't say something like that, I'm not going to punish you. That's too specific. As I don't want you guys missing clues. So when you roll, you get what you get, which is I'll tell you exactly where you find it. Realistically, though, besides what you see, nothing. Like I said, she has some trinkets and some odd things, but they are very low power. She probably doesn't even know she has them, and they are in no way related to this. They have, like I said, they're very, very low power.
So the only paper, though, is some past due bills.
Yes, she has some that are left out, definitely to a reminder. She's relatively clean. She doesn't really keep things stacked up, and her apartment is...
Does it look like she keeps backup records anywhere?
Yeah, like a ledger. That's what I was going to ask.
If she does, in his actual projecting form, he can't really open doors. Like, he can see through things. No,
he can't see it, but there is something that might look like she has a record beyond what was lost in her store. She
kind of has an office room off to the side. She most likely has something in there, but he can't see, unfortunately. He can see it, but he can't open it and go through the pages. So
yeah, that's fine. I'm just asking if there's if it looks like there might be something similar to the list that we were not, like the stuff that we're not able to see that was lost in the fire.
A lot of the stuff that's in the apartment is, like I said, either incredibly low magic or fully mundane, just candles and trinkets and incense, things of that nature. Yes, there is a ledger of things that she would look at it. Correct. There is a ledger of things she would have looked at. If there were anything high power or rare, it would have been incinerated in the building.
Okay. I think I was definitely talking around that question. I mostly just wanted to know if there was a ledger.
There is, yeah.
Okay.
She has an office off to the side. But yeah, Xander, other than that, that's basically fine.
So I can't go into the office?
You can go into the office, but you can't open the ledger and go through it.
Can I have Jasper steal it?
Theoretically. If you actually want to go for that, technically Xander would have to come back and let you guys know, hey, et cetera, send into shadow.
Yeah, I'll go back to my body and tell Roxanne and Moira that there's a ledger.
Trying to think about how badly I want to look at that ledger.
We'll take some okay, we'll grab it. We'll take pictures, and then he can put it back.
Can he put it back exactly where he left it?
This is my brother we're talking about.
You're right. He is much more skilled than you are.
Yeah.
That depends on the role, Roxanne.
I'm just kidding. Or am I?
Monster.
I'm just kidding. I really am. For what it's worth, Roxanne, I do think that you are incredibly talented for your age. And I do trust you to have my back.
You're a prospect in the making, as long as you don't betray us again.
Well,
but to be fair,
he told me nearly everything I wanted to know, so
it's gonna kill me that I don't know.
Don't know what
you're talking about.
Hang on, what I'm talking about? You mean for you or for me?
For you.
Oh, I mean, I might share it later.
Stares at you.
Stares back.
Gee.
In fact, I will lower my sunglasses and stare back with my glowy eyes.
I wink at her. He looks at me.
Alrighty, if you want to sneak, Roxanne, roll to get sneaking.
Oh, no.
Hey, fortunately for you, you do have the improvement Mask of the Mundane, which is sneak result plus 1 tier.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
Does that count failures, though, or does that only count when you succeed?
Weird.
I'll have to double check. But go ahead and while you're picking all your stealth stuff, go ahead and also choose the weakness tag for conjuration, plays tricks and pranks on me.
I'm just sending my brother in, right?
You tell me.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Keep it simple.
Okay, what? Sneak around. My older brother moves the shadows.
Oh,
There we go.
what was that little sound?
Once per scene, you can have it go up 1 tier, meaning a fail turns into a 7 to 9, a 7 to 9 turns to a 10 plus. So you don't
I mean,
technically...
that's just as is, right?
Yeah, you fully succeeded. So everyone that needed to fall for it falls for it. Go ahead and mark experience to the boy who is. Mark attention. And yeah, that's a 10. So Jasper's able to sneak in easily, leave nothing behind. What do you want to do? Grab the book and pull it outside so you guys can take some pictures?
Yeah.
All right. You're able to easily do that, and he does it quickly, following the instructions that Xander left behind. You guys find this with little to no issue. And positioning the book just right where we need it, Moira, you're able to snap a quick image of each page. While they are somewhat detailed, they don't really go on for too long. This is probably just one of her ledgers. She most likely has older ones, but I'll just say those are not as relevant as this one is the most recent one, fortunately. And with that, Jasper's able to quickly sneak back in and very carefully, perfectly put down the book right where it needed to be. If there was a little line of dust, it would match it perfectly.
I high five Jasper when he comes back.
He double high fives you. Very proud.
He high fives you directly in the face.
What? No, he doesn't.
Forehead high five.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he's cool. Oh, well, he did
He's
play
your
trick
older
on-
brother, right?
He did
Because
play
I
a
feel
trick on me,
older
so yeah.
brother older brother energy. I don't know.
All right, he bonks my head and then high fives me.
There we go.
All right, the
Well, send
information
me the
will...
pics then.
Yeah, well, no, you took the pictures. They're on your phone.
Oh,
yeah,
perfect.
he brought the book out to you. You took the pictures, so you got them.
God, why did I not understand that? What am I not understanding today as like a person?
Sometimes our brains leak. It's okay.
Perfect.
Other than that, like I mentioned, it'll take a little bit to go over all this information and parse out what it actually means. But we do have that now in our back pocket.
Perfect. I'll look at it later. What time is it now?
I'd say it's about, well, realistically, you guys discussed everything, pieced out. Roxanne already dropped the lad off, so afternoon.
You know what I think it's time for? Lunch.
Lunch is good.
All right, are we doing anything particular for lunch? We kind of just chilling and then heading out after.
That's making me hungry in real life, though.
While we eat, I want to kind of look at the photos.
Sure. Anything in these logs particularly you are looking for?
Anything that matches up with the list of things that she had coming in. And if there was anything slightly more detailed.
From what you can tell, it's a combination between a ledger for her store and some personal things that she purchased. You can see in here that she did indeed buy mace and a taser at some point, presumably to be kept on her. You didn't see them farting about in the apartment. And of course, you know, those are under personal, so these are basically all of her expenses. They're actually very well organized. Because she doesn't know what they are, though, you do indeed see everything that she purchased that is labeled properly. But the other stuff, the custom product, she doesn't know what these are. She legitimately doesn't know what they are. She doesn't know if they're magical or not. But she does enjoy attaching a story to them and selling up the enjoyment of owning whatever this thing is. And like I mentioned, there are detailed, you know, like snake goddess statue, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then she'll detail what it is. And the number of custom items that were on the generic one match up to this one.
Okay. Is there anything different about the way that they're written down?
Not really. She just treats them like they're a normal product.
God, I just want to know what they are.
I will tell you that they're not super, super, super important. They are legitimately just fun knickknacks that she finds.
Okay.
That her store is well known for.
So she did buy... So wait, she bought a taser?
Yes, she did buy a taser and some mace.
And...
I say about 2 months back.
2 months back? Is
Yeah.
that about the same time that she started closing up early, or
From what you can tell, that's relatively close by. Yeah, around then. It sort of matches up to some of her overdue bills as well.
I wonder if there was something following her.
More
I
than
don't know.
likely,
Is that
knowing
the
this place.
vibe?
A
Is
little.
it unreasonable to think that?
It's definitely not unreasonable to buy it. It just seems very sudden. Where she lives, it would be reasonable to own those things already. So the fact that she bought them recently, knowing that she's lived here for a while, a little weird.
Like the taser and pepper spray?
Yeah, she basically should have owned them by now. The fact that she like just bought them is a little strange.
Okay. I'm gonna pocket that mentally. And maybe I'll ask her about it. But crime has been going down, yeah?
Yes,
in the area?
and actually on that note, on the television, and in general, because you would know this, you work in the industry, crime in Miller Square has definitely gone down. 100% has gone down.
Up somewhere else?
Not necessarily, no. The only thing is you and others have been hearing rumors of violence against the old guard, the enforcers, has actually been escalating. People found dressed in that way have been found beaten up.
In where?
Near Miller's Square, the place that you guys just were.
The enforcers that were doing the protection racket?
Yes.
So where does Isabel live? Miller Square or?
No, she lives in the same area that Radaya does, which is close-ish by, but it's far enough. Handful of miles.
You know what city that's in?
We can just make up a name.
I was just looking at the map.
Oh, I know.
Is it Parkside or
is it like a borough?
Wild Knock?
Sure. It's not Happyville, that's for sure.
But
Little Italy.
It's in White Cliff. That sounds fun. That's just south.
White Cliff.
Yeah, why not?
So the people who were originally part of the protection racket are now being found beaten up.
Yes. Indeed, a few of them. Basically, individuals in interesting attire were found beaten up in Miller Square.
You know, honestly, I love that for them. The people in Miller Square, I mean.
Yes. Like I said, they're doing much better. The promise that we would pull out seems to be true. Maybe there were one or two that didn't either catch the memo or weren't listening, but they got their asses handed to them. So, other than that, nothing too elucidating.
Have I heard any reports?
Based on what?
Of things happening in other locations?
Yes, actually, there is. There is something. How do I phrase this exactly? From what you can tell, there was supposed to be a large town hall meeting. I want to say maybe 3 days ago or so, and the representative that was supposed to be hosting it didn't show up, which is odd.
It was a town meeting for.
Just your generic. We're going to talk about X, Y, and Z bullshit for.
And they just didn't show up.
For some reason, one of the heads, one Philip Bradley, did not show up.
If he has a name, that means something. Or you just wanted to give him a name. Is there a missing persons report?
Not that you can say. Unfortunately, the end of that story, from your knowledge, from what your company knows, is that he didn't show. They've asked, and his people, his business, they're being rather hush hush. They said he's sick and he didn't feel well. We deeply apologize, etc., etc. But all reports prior to seeing him were like, nah, he was fine. But maybe he got sick last second. Who knows? Family business. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
It was somewhat of a big deal though, because they were usually these things they're boring for everybody else, but for the most part, you don't just cancel a party in a big old celebration like this in a meeting. It's odd. Especially since he didn't cancel it and he didn't say I'm sick. His people are saying he's sick.
And what was the meeting supposed to be about?
Just general city stuff, ordinances and things of that nature. Boring, but they try to spruce it up. They'll have a live band play and things like that.
So we don't have he wasn't going to bring up anything that was weird.
Not to your knowledge, no. Nothing crazy he announced. He didn't, preamble with, ooh, you can't wait to see X, Y, and Z. There's a crazy announcement for you. Nothing like that. It's just another usual, but this dude works like clockwork, so odd that he didn't show up this time.
Maybe we'll pay him a visit, theoretically, because he didn't say he was sick. His people said he was sick?
Correct. His PR folk.
All right. I'm going to pocket that, too. How long ago was this?
Oh, it was 3 days ago. your folk have said there's more interesting stories, but keep an eye on this one. If anything shows its head, please feel free to dive on in. Otherwise, there's more interesting things happening. There's the city is quite large, and there's just shit going down left, right, and center.
That's what they always say. I am going to see if I can get his home address. Follow up on him too.
Sure, that's something you can get from your company. It'll take you a hot second. It's not like super well guarded information, but he is a politician, so they try to keep that like, why do you need it, et cetera, et cetera. It's he has multiple addresses, as most of them do. He has his offices where he probably stays more than his home, but they want to make sure you're not just being nosy. They trust you though. You're in good position with your company.
Good.
Other than that, if you guys are ready to roll into tonight, let me know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready.
Yep.
All right, this is like the last modern map that I have. The other things that I do have are more splash art, which are nice. Everything we do, of course, is basically going to be theater of the mind going forward. So as a reminder, if you need me to elucidate, it is kind of important, but we are not playing Pathfinder. The squares don't matter. You're either near, you're close, you're far, or you're like, don't even bother worrying about it. So that's all that matters. You're intimate with the person, like in melee range, you're somewhat ranged, or you're like really far. That's all that matters. So if you need to ask, just ask.
So,
Yes.
question.
Yes.
Out to the gang. What's our plan for tonight?
Do not interact with me under any circumstance.
Don't talk to me.
All right. That doesn't answer my question. Are we looking to buy, to destroy, to find out who bought and steal from later?
Wait, is that the same stuff that makes super soldiers?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I mean, destroy.
I see the options are destroy it, outbid it, or track down who buys it, and trail them.
I'm inclined to say the last one's probably the easiest. I mean, if we destroy in here, we'll never be allowed into an auction house again. And I doubt we'll be able to outbid these bitch fogies.
This is important to my future as an investigative journalist that this does not get messed up for me.
Yes, exactly.
Well, seeing as I'm an out of towner, if I destroy it, it doesn't really matter to me. And they won't know I'm with you.
I mean, that's true, I guess.
I'm just saying.
I guess we can play it by ear, depending on who takes it. If we can, if we know that we can follow them out and then destroy it in the back somewhere. If not, blow it up here or whatever.
Sure, that works. So, is there an age range for these types of auctions?
Why do you ask?
Am I going to need a fake ID?
No, I'm about to say, I'm not sure if you're asking about your own age or your brother. I would say, do not bring your brother, but...
Absolutely not.
Of course, I'm double checking.
Wrong place for the little bro.
100% the wrong place for the little bro. Alrighty, well, it's late into the night. It's a clear night, fortunately. We're meeting somewhere by an underdock area. This is a warehouse that is currently under disrepair, unused. It's far enough out of the way that no one will really question why you drive by here, as this can indeed be a shortcut, getting home, getting to your work, things of that nature. But not enough people drive by here that any looky-loos would see. Also, fortunately, the parking area is just outside of anyone's line of sight. So regardless of where you're standing on the outside, the odds of seeing where you guys park, or where anyone is parked, the guests and such, is next to zero. And this works perfectly for the folk that are putting together this auction. As you all drive up, I assume you all come together in the same vehicle or separate vehicles?
Moira specifically said, don't talk to her, so...
I mean, okay, sorry.
I don't even know that Moira, girl.
You text me and, talk to me and stuff, but, I don't...
That's talking to yourself.
Actually, do I have time to break away before we arrive here?
I don't even know if I can take my phone out, really.
What are you trying to accomplish?
I was thinking I would go buy myself a really fancy dress and arrive a little late.
Oh, yeah, you got plenty of time for that.
Okay, I will do that.
Excellent. When you say fancy dress, do you mean like a ball dress or?
No, something
Classy.
Not classy, but maybe a little too sexy.
Okay, that works. And looking out as you exit your vehicle, Roxanne, folk around you are dressed mostly in the same way, so you fit in. Maybe a little too sexy. This isn't a dance. This isn't maybe this isn't as highbrow as you were expecting.
Darn kids.
You stand out a little, but maybe you can put this in your favor. Who knows?
That's fine.
Pretend you're a rich kid.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to do. The sunglasses probably ruined it, but that's all right.
You're still wearing them?
Absolutely. Unless I could find contacts, I guess. I probably could.
You're a trendsetter.
Well, yes, I'm a trendsetter. Sunglasses it is.
So remember, no one can see your glowy eyes unless they also have powers.
Well, then I definitely want to hide them. So sunglasses it is.
Perfect. Alrighty. As you all head on in, together, but separate, you notice that there isn't really a crowd or anything. In fact, the setup is quite unique. Of course, the people that are putting this auction together know exactly what they're selling. So they are indeed people such as yourselves. They will not question you. They also do not mind if some of the more normal folk are to arrive. Money is money, after all. After you park your vehicles and get out, the two major doors to said warehouse are currently closed. There are men in suits waiting outside for each of you. Whether you guys come in at the same time or separately, you're all greeted the same. They don't ask for a name. They don't really ask for anything. They do a quick pat down to make sure you don't have anything odd on you. Weapons are technically okay, as long as it's nothing too crazy. They don't really seem to mind, as the security here should be better than usual, at least from what Moira has heard. And moving on in, the interior of this warehouse is definitely something to behold. You do not see boxes and product and things stacked. In fact, you don't really see anyone or anything. All you do see is a pitch, and I mean pitch black. No light from the moon or stars pierce through any of the windows. The only thing you do see is a stark light walkway leading from the door to a small circular area that has 4 illuminated chairs.
Okay.
What do you mean 4 chairs?
A chair for each of you.
Only 4?
They are lit up in a way that they are not necessarily grouped together. They're kind of sparsed out. But you can tell there's probably people sitting between said chairs. You just can't see them. They are somehow hidden in the shadow.
Wait, there are
happens to be 4
5 of us, right?
chairs.
Oh, no, there are 4 of us.
Well, there's only 4 chairs that are lit right now.
Only 4 chairs are lit, but you know there are more.
Creepy. I go ahead and I sit down.
That's odd. Can my shadow sense anything in these shadows?
Because we are in pitch blackness, the light is helping you a little, Roxanne. And because you're searching through shadows, yes, you sense heartbeats, breathing. You can tell there are other people indeed seated between some of these open chairs, and in general. Some of them are probably like yourselves, but this is most likely a security protocol. You cannot see through the darkness, but you can sense them. Moira, because you can also sense through darkness, you can sense them as well.
Yeah.
When Moira sat down, did her light turn off?
Yes, as each of you sit down, your light does indeed turn off, but you can see forward. There is a stage that currently has nothing on it. You cannot see each other, though.
So who's beside me?
You don't know. You look to your left and look to your right, and you just see darkness. Only thing you can see is the stage up ahead and yourself. The stark white lighting that lit your chair and the walkway. After you sit, the walkway turns off. Your chair is still seemingly on, if you will, but it's not blinding. You can look up, and it's definitely a clinical light, more blue, harsh, but it's not blinding. If that makes any sense.
I just had a thought. Would my sponsor be here?
Potentially. You're not really sure. Would they have told you?
Probably not.
Fair enough. And after waiting some time, as a side note, your bones and such still do work, so it's not like they completely cut that off. After some time, the darkness fades a bit, and you can hear the doors behind you all close. You can see people around you, vague outlines. You can tell where each of your friends are sitting. They're somewhat recognizable, but you can't fully make out who you're sitting next to. Just generic outlines. And you see,
even with our night vision, mine and Moira's?
Indeed, there is something preventing you from piercing it perfectly, but you can indeed see that there are people around you. There are maybe, including you all, 20, and the auctioneer walks up the front, their hands in the air, also wearing a suit much like the others. You guys can see a few guards near the stages. They say, all right, we'll keep this nice and simple and quick. This product tends to go fast, yes? You hear some chuckles coming from the crowd. They say, of course, for your safety and our concern and such. Not that anything will go wrong, of course. We want to make sure everyone is anonymous. Standard protocol, if you wish to bid, merely raise your arm. I'll count the prices and such, and if you wish to double hold up your fingers. We can multiply, we can add, you know, the hand signals and such.
Can we subtract?
If only. But unfortunately, no. All right, with that, we shall indeed let the bidding begin. And he takes a step back for another individual to walk forward, and they just start rattling off numbers. There is only one thing here, and true to their word, they're going to sell it quickly. You can hear prices, and you can hear like voices, but they're somewhat muffled. He relays the information to you all, though. The price starts relatively low at a couple thousand, but quickly hikes to 10. Bids begin to slow. While this is happening, what are y'all doing?
10,000 here.
I don't have any money, so I don't even feel comfortable fake bidding.
That's perfectly fine. Are you guys waiting for a sign? Are you guys looking for anything particular, or are you just kind of waiting at the storm?
Oh, I betted.
Oh no, he's got you. Yep. 10,000 the man up front, and then he instantly at 11,000, he points to someone else 11,000. It's just going up and up and up.
I think I'm just gonna watch.
Fair.
I'm gonna keep matching their price.
Okay, so Xander keeps matching. Roxanne's waiting. Moira, you are.
I am keeping an eye out if there's anything that seems off to me.
Radiah, what are you doing?
I have no idea. I can't say I have a lot of money, so I probably am just keeping my head down.
Fair enough.
Oh, by the way, before we came in here, I'm wearing a patch and a fake curly mustache.
All right, excellent. Once again, they didn't question you. No matter what you guys were wearing, they weren't like, oh, hold up. They don't give a shit. You can, you can be wearing those.
Coffee making attire or anything I've worn since.
Oh yeah, of course.
If anyone asks, my name is Montgomery.
You can be wearing the googly eyes, and they wouldn't care. They might, laugh a little, but other than that, they don't care. Fake mustache, go for it, buddy. You can wear a mask for all they give a shit on. Slowly, though, Moira and Roxanne, the shadow is starting to dissipate ever so slightly around the people. And you can see a couple folk. There are, men, women, and everyone in between, and height, short, no children, before you ask, Roxanne, so.
A child.
A child. No. Does
anybody look familiar?
Looking around, some outlines maybe, but you really don't recognize.
I see a redheaded devil.
You don't know, no redheaded devil.
I don't think the redheaded devil's going to be there.
If her outline would be somewhat recognizable, unless she dressed completely different. Radiah, you possibly would have recognized her by this point. You're not sure if this is intentional, this fading, or if just the two of you can see through easily.
Do I see an old lady?
You can see people that are probably older, yes. Why?
As in the old lady that laughed at me last time?
No, you do not. There is indeed, from what you can tell, it looks like an older gentleman. You can't 100% tell. Roxanne and Moira, a little easier. But as he's hammering out, he's 12,000, 12,000, 12,000, 13,000, 13,000, 13,000, 13,50, 13,50, 14,000, 14,000, 14,000. And then he's going up and up and up and up and up, and then just there's flying. And you kind of hear like a thud and someone like a rumbling. And he pauses for a second and looks to one of the doors and then shrugs. And then he keeps going up and up and up. And while this is happening, you can hear some whispering, but it's not coming from the crowd. It's coming from your shadows, Roxanne, are sensing it coming from some of the guards. They're kind of looking to each other, and some of the ones in shadow were speaking to each other, and their voices are reverberating over to you. They sound somewhat worried and almost
Does
like...
my Eye of Azar sense anything?
Nothing demonic, no. Nothing really magical either. Like I said, there are some folk near you that definitely are of the same persuasion as you guys.
Can I open myself up to visions?
Yes, what precisely are you looking for?
I want to see what's going to happen.
Sure. Go and roll me investigate. While you're thinking about this, she's getting spooky.
Is it low lighting in here?
It's effectively no lighting.
All right.
Unfortunately, you're in full lighting, but you're trying to sense what's outside the lighting, so.
Yeah. Damn, all that?
Snake eyes, baby.
All that?
All that and a bag of chips.
Well, right. I did use disturbing imagery, so please give me something horrible.
Indeed, and also go ahead and add 1 attention to that, which means it's going to level again. Yay!
Freak me out, TM, please. Yes, yes.
Wrong game for that.
I don't like the way you said that.
No, I don't either.
Scare me, ooh.
That's for the Sunday game.
Ooh.
Anyway, weirdo aside, spook me, daddy. Yeah, no, right? Haha, gross. So nasty.
I open myself up for visions and I just get all the bad shit.
You get conflicting imagery. You get very conflicting imagery. But
About to have a panic attack.
the main thing is that the auctioneer begins to fade into the background, Moira. His words slur and slow, as if everything is moving in a different time or a different space. His image begins to duplicate as well as he's moving about. Around you, you begin to feel hot. Something is burning around you, and you hear screaming and just incomprehensible, and I mean just, what? Just the words and phrases, they're so odd and just off the wall that you can't even remember them as you're hearing them. But they're confusing you further and further. I want you to go ahead and burn your gut feeling on divination. Whatever this unsettled feeling is, you're trying to focus on it, but you can't. And it kind of leaves you in this weird limbo of like, you have information, but at the same time, you just don't. And this feeling...
Like when you wake up from a dream?
Yeah, this morning I woke up from a dream, and I was trying to explain to some dude why speedrunning games is cool, and as I woke up, I'm like, wait, no, I need to go back to my dream so I can explain this to him. For a good, minute, I was thinking, I'm like, well, I'm awake, what am I doing? This person doesn't exist. So yeah, like that. That was great. Oh, whatever, weird. Go watch Summoning Salt. Anyway, as you're kind of focusing on this, these blurred images begin to move around you, and the heat, it's explosions, it's gunfire, it's violence of just unbridled. And as that's happening to Moira, Roxanne, you notice that the shadows are dissipating further and further. You can now make out faces. You don't know any of these people, but you can make out faces. You see a gentleman with a short haircut. You see another kind of rather, large man. You see someone that might be around your age. Difficult to tell. You see an older gentleman wearing glasses, and just a couple people. And you see kind of between all of them, your eyes catch on someone that for some reason is really drawing your attention, Roxanne. You're somewhat of a vigilante yourself, yes?
Somewhat? Attempted, self-proclaimed, yes.
Well, there is, of course, we know there's other folks like you. We know that. This is a nice big fat duh. Some people have powers, if you will, and some are not touched. But you're getting this inkling feeling. There are rumors and such of some people that are truly professionals.
At vigilantism or
that, or hitmen, or bodyguards, or things of that nature.
But isn't Roxanne trying to be a vigilante?
Effectively, yes.
I am. In fact, my other shadows would have been picked up during my vigilante activities.
Indeed.
Do you have a costume?
Black.
Black. Like Black Widow black, or
definitely
like
tight, yes.
Like that kind of costume?
Yes.
Dope. Do you have a mask or just rocking your face?
I figure
like a domino mask.
Rocking her shades. What are you talking about?
No, I figure when I'm doing Evangelism, I probably cover nose and down and let my eyes shine out.
Oh, so like a ninja mask?
Yeah.
In the darkness, Roxanne, this person stands out to you because they're not staring directly at you, but they're looking in your general direction. They look somewhat alerted, maybe a little confused. But you see an individual.
Oh, but he's confused by my mustache.
They're a little older, or they look a little older than you. Asian. Hair is tied up in a tight ponytail. They have very sharp eyes with wide-rimmed, thin, rectangular glasses. And they're kind of just, they're looking around, but their eyes keep bouncing off of you occasionally. And you, I would say Moira as well, unfortunately you can't see this, have heard this person described before. They're simply known as just B. That's it, just B.
As in the letter B?
As the letter B, correct.
B.
As in B for bunny, right?
Yes, as in B for bunny, banana.
Batshit crazy.
Exactly. And this person is known for a multitude of reasons. You've never seen them. Most people say they look like this, they look like that. Whatever. It doesn't actually matter. All you know is they're a very competent bodyguard. So if it is this person, and if they're here, they're either guarding someone important or they're here for a reason. And they're kind of just chilling there. You notice on them, they have some form of weapon that's kind of hid under whatever coat they're wearing. sword, most likely. Doesn't look like a gun. The auctioneer kind of pauses a bit. Moira, you're starting to catch up with whatever vision you had, whatever was happening. And you know it's coming from the right. It's coming from your right. Your vision clears. In fact, everyone's vision clears. You can see Radaya. You can see Xander, Roxanne. You can see these people, not perfectly. They're a little blurry. It's almost like they're moving through ink, in a way. The more they move, the blurrier they are. But you recognize your compatriots. You can see them plain as day. Same with the auctioneer.
I'm doing this for her, right?
All of you is doing this for her. It seems like the inkiness is starting to melt away. The auctioneer seems to notice it too and goes, apologies, folks. Seems that we're having somewhat of an issue. And the guards up front kind of look at him like, all right, pull it back.
So are we not voting anymore, or?
Put a pause on that. And right as he says that,
I'm just kidding.
The two doors.
Demon.
Stage north. No, not the demon. The two doors, stage north, burst open in flame. Boxes and shit go flying everywhere as a truck smashes through them. And you hear screaming and shouting, and it squeals as it rams into another truck. And you just hear hooping and hollering, and over the din of all this panic, you hear one dude just scream out, "Bring me a bucket, and I'll show you a bucket!"
Exactly, who got that reference besides you and me and maybe your brother?
And we'll pause there.